Everyone was already mentally filing AAA 2025 away as finished. The lights at Kaohsiung National Stadium were fading, the confetti had fallen, trophies were in the hands of their winners, and you could feel the emotional high coming back down to earth. It felt like the climax had already passed. And then, out of nowhere, the quiet moment that would end up stealing the whole night slipped in, a simple JYP family photo. No encore stage, no surprise announcement, no dramatic intro. Just JYP artists shuffling together for one last group shot that would hit the internet minutes later. At the center of it all was 2PM's legendary senior Lee Junho, now a top-tier actor and the main MC of the ceremony, standing calmly next to IVE's Jang Wonyoung. In that split second, it didn't matter that he had officially parted ways with JYP Entertainment months before. The paperwork was done, the agency tag was technically gone, but the way every artist naturally arranged themselves around him said one thing unmistakably. To them, he was still the axis everything turned around. When you watch the clips, what stands out is what you don't hear. There's no frantic staff yelling directions, no panicked scrambling. Stray Kids, along with rookies NEXC and Kickflip, all just drift toward Junho like their bodies remember this formation better than their minds do. He's standing loose and comfortable, shoulders open, expression soft, gaze steady. Then he gives the smallest signal with his hand, and suddenly the entire group locks in. Posture lifts, people shift just enough to balance the frame, smiles appear at the same time, and hands rise together for an easy, synchronized wave. It doesn't read as rehearsed, it feels like reflex. Fans had the perfect term waiting for it. That emperor energy, not loud, not controlling, just a quiet authority everyone instinctively trusts. And the part that really hits you is simple. Junho had no obligation to be there. No contract tying him down, no comeback stage to plug, nothing he needed to prove. Yet every junior still moved around him like their leader never left. That is what a real legacy looks like in K-pop. You feel it the strongest when you look at Stray Kids. That night they swept the ceremony, walking away with 8 trophies, including Artist of the Year and Album of the Year for Karma. But in that one picture, they weren't standing like the untouchable reigning champions. They felt more like sons with their dad. Bang Chan's arm rests on Junho's shoulder like it's the most natural thing in the world. The members' eyes flick to Junho without thinking, their reactions syncing up with his timing, as if they're still following his lead. Nearby, NEXC and Kickflip stand poised and professional, backs straight, faces composed, but you can see the awe tucked neatly behind their stage-ready smiles, like students quietly standing beside a walking, breathing manual of what it means to be an idol. Not long after, NEXC's official account posted that very photo with a short caption that said everything. Team JYP is here. The replies nailed the feeling fans couldn't shake. Family doesn't disappear when a signature dries. On the 10th anniversary of AAA, surrounded by massive stars from different generations and mountains of awards, people slowly realized that the real moment of the night wasn't another trophy being lifted. It was that single, wordless snapshot, a senior who no longer needed to guide anyone but still did, and younger artists who no longer had to follow but chose to anyway. One frozen frame that reminded everyone why they fell for K-pop in the first place. Not the stats, not the records, but those rare, unspoken scenes where respect, history, and family quietly stand side by side and tell the whole story without saying anything at all.